I started the Tulsi Gabbard Show really out of a frustration with the mainstream media. I'm grateful when people ask me to come on their shows. I get 4.5 minutes to talk about really, really big and important issues, and always found myself like looking at my 5 pages of notes and trying to distill that down to like 3 sentences or 3 points to get across. As you know very well, having these platforms allow us the opportunity to really get into different issues. For me to be able to share, my perspective, my background or my view on a particular thing, and then have some conversations with interesting people who I may agree with or I may not agree with, but really furthering what we're talking about is we should have a strong marketplace of ideas in this country. We should be having good, constructive dialogue because it's how we grow. It's how we learn. It's how we move forward as a people and as a community. So we put out a new episode every Tuesday. This one I just put out this last Tuesday is exactly about the topic we're discussing. The issue of nuclear war, Russia and Ukraine. And my guest on that episode is Professor Jeffrey Sachs. He is one of those traditional liberalist Democrats. I think he considers himself a true progressive, not a so-called fake progressive. And he has been very outspoken, given his history of actually serving as an economic advisor for Boris Yeltsin and Gorbachev as, they were making this transition from the Soviet Union into Russia. And how even back then he was shut down by the White House, saying that they didn't want there to be any relationship with Russia other than an adversarial one, essentially. But it's a really interesting conversation, and he's got a lot of background on it. And encourage people to go and subscribe and take a listen. And I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Tulsi Gabbard Show, check it out. And so there's House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy just signaled a little bit that there might be some challenge to Ukrainian aid, which I find to be promising. And then immediately there's this story. It's just so on the Financial Times, Ukrainian officials shocked as Republicans threaten tougher line on aid. Where do these foreigners get off thinking that they get our money? I mean,
exactly.
They're shocked. Like, go figure out your own business.
Right. That they are. It has been striking throughout this entire thing. The demands.
Yeah, the
demands that they are placing on us, listing. Well, we need 100 tanks. We need this. We need that. You must deliver, or else what? And I go back to the Biden administration and leaders in Congress who have kowtowed to these demands coming from another country, essentially ceding our sovereignty and our taxpayer dollars and our future to this other country. When President Biden is asked, how does this end? What is our objective? At what point do we say, okay, well, we've done enough. This is it. His answer is one form or another of saying, well, that's up to Putin. Putin gets to dictate this thing goes and how long we are involved, which is just, it makes me angry. It should make every American angry. And their backlash, one of the things I've seen a lot of backlash to Kevin McCarthy's hinting at starting to rein in the money that they've been sending to Ukraine. The backlash that I got from Democrats and talking heads when I left the Democratic Party last week is, oh, good. Now she can go be with those anti-war nationalist Republicans. Oh, obviously she's left because she doesn't support continuing this war, different versions of that. It's just, it's crazy that we've gotten to this point where there's this rush to war, this fervor for war that leaves room for nothing else other than those who just walk in lockstep.